What's up, homies? Welcome to another episode of the Homies Real Estate Podcast. This is your host, Anthony.
I'm Angel.
I'm a realtor.
I'm a lender.
And together we're going to break down this crazy real estate market. We got a great podcast for you today. We brought in a guest. We're going to talk about ADUs, additional dwelling units. So we brought Eric Paul Escobar. Eric, want to say hi?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing good, Eric. How are you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good. Let's get this going, see what we could talk about to
Yeah.
help some people out, you know?
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Exactly. So, Eric, tell us a little bit about your journey. You're a general contractor. You do ADUs.
Yep. So for me, it comes down to freedom, time freedom, and financial freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we all buy houses for different reasons, right? So
Yes.
it's kind of like, how could I still do what we're doing, which is building ADUs for other people, but actually build them for myself to rent them out as well.
Awesome.
Which I know some people are looking for another source of income besides just working their job, which a lot of our clients are doing that. And it all started too with, hey, I was trying to build an ADU in my backyard for my mom. And she didn't end up moving. She started crying. She said, I don't want to move because I don't want to sell my house.
Yeah.
But that's where it started.
Wow.
So we started trying to build her ADU. It didn't work out. But a lot of our clients, you know, older parents or younger kids that just can't afford the house yet.
Yeah.
An ADU is a better play always.
That
Gotcha.
makes sense. That's awesome.
Gotcha. So let's talk about your company, Esco Builders, right? So you're a general contractor. You do a lot of ADUs. What type of construction do you typically work on?
Our big bread and butter, bro, it's always going to be obviously ADUs. There's different type of ADUs. So we have the garage conversion, which is like the most affordable.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right. And then you have the new construction, which you go all the way up to 1,200 square feet, depending on the city, which is like a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. But people are like, oh shit, I want to do the 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. But then they see the price tags and they're like, oh shit, okay, let me retract back. Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of garage conversion, new construction, that's kind of where we play at.
Gotcha. And you're killing it with the Instagram game. Like you're posting every single day. You're helping people. I found you on Instagram.
Yeah.
And love your content. So talk a little bit about your journey with Instagram real quick before we go into the ADUs.
So whoever, like if you guys have a business or want to do something regarding to like just getting people to be more aware, Instagram is the way to go, or social media just in general.
Yes.
We're heavy on Instagram. We're, dabble in TikTok and other things, but like that's where we get most of our business.
Awesome.
And it's local business. So we like to stay in Downey, Long Beach, Santa Fe Springs, this whole general area. And back then when my dad was just like, getting work everywhere, he would go down to like Van Nuys and then drive to like Orange County, right? So it's kind of like, dude, you're killing yourself just driving around, So,
exactly.
So we kind of switched that, and now we're just staying local, and we just focus on that.
Yeah.
So social media has allowed us to do that, just to stay local.
That's awesome.
And one thing to mention too, you did mention your dad. I want to speak a little bit like it's a family business, right? Like your dad started. Is your dad the one that started it all?
So my dad started about 20 years. He's been in construction for about 30 years. Every Mexican's always in construction.
Yeah.
So I ventured off and I said, cool, I'm gonna open up my gym. So I opened up 4 gyms in the local area.
Oh wow.
And then I didn't realize it at the time, but the most fun part about opening up more gyms was the construction part for me.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like, yeah, we filled them up, we made money, but the coolest part is like having my brother be there with like doing the electrical work, right? Like just bullshitting around, like doing the work, but just turning around.
More family.
Yeah, and my dad being there. So it's always been kind of like that has been the center of all the businesses, like the construction part.
Gotcha. So it's you, your brother, and yourself.
So my brother does the electrical. So he does all our electrical and all our projects. And then like myself, I'm on social media, I'm helping clients out.
Yes.
And then my dad's on like the day-to-day with the guys, making sure everything happens.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Nice. That's awesome. And Eric, quickly, we can find your Instagram at Eric Paul Escobar.
Yep.
So homies, if you haven't already, follow him. We'll put his Instagram up here so you can take a look at it. But let's go ahead and jump right into the podcast. So a very common question that I'm going to get is, what is an ADU, an additional dwelling unit? So do you want to briefly explain what that is?
So it's an accessory dwelling unit. It's like an accessory to your house, right? Think of that. So you could basically put a second unit in your house, whether it's converting your garage or if you have the space starting from scratch in your backyard, right? Even it's possible, like on one of our ADUs that we rented out, we had the garage and we put square footage on the garage. So we made it into a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, right? So when you add square feet, you could do that. And there's so many benefits to that. Like you don't trigger new construction, which once you trigger new construction, there's always fees that come associated with new construction. You have to put in solar. So we eliminate all those costs by just adding on to the garage.
Got it. That makes sense. And why are people building ADUs right now? What's like the most common reason that you see?
Affordability, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna like, let's say you want to pimp out your ADU, you want a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It'll cost you $250,000.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna get a house for $250,000?
You're not.
Not in LA County. That's not gonna happen.
You got to go Riverside County.
So
Banning.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So dollar per dollar makes more sense. And then you know, a lot of times it's like older parents that want to, like, the kids want to move in their older parents, right? So everybody thinks of it as like, oh, it's a great financial investment, which I do that for myself, right? I have the flexibility that I can do that, right? To rent them out to other people. But then a lot of people just want to have their parents close, right? They don't want to put them in a home. Their kids are growing up, so the kids are in their early 20s and they just can't afford a house right now. You guys know where things are at right now. So it's like, hey, let's build an ADU.
And I think you really, to me, you opened my eyes on that. I never really thought about it like that. To be honest, I always looked at it again. People do it for financial reasons, but to really, you said it perfectly. You're not going to find a $250,000 home here in LA, a 2-bedroom. So I definitely think for anyone who is looking to, whose parents have that extra space, it's like a great opportunity to look at that option for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's another thing here that you mentioned in regards to the financial incentives. So I know we're talking about that before we hopped on this podcast, but I recently went to a convention or a seminar about 4 weeks ago, and Thatch Nugent, who I'll put his Instagram here, he's a very, very popular investor, especially on Instagram and on TikTok, mentioned that the best possible investment that you can make right now is a single family residence that's 6,000 plus square feet that has a detached garage that you can convert into a garage and then hopefully build a junior ADU. So you essentially get 3 units out of a single family residence. And those 3 units, if you rent them out according to what market rents are, will collect well over $6,000-$7,000 in rent. And there's no way you'll be able to cash flow that much with anything even close to that cost, right? So that was something that really caught my eye when he said that. And he's like, I'm going to try to pick up as many of these properties as I can in Seattle. But I know there's going to be opportunities here in Los Angeles as well.
Well, the thing he talks about a lot is like he's built 90 unit complexes, 100 something unit complexes. And he's like, dude, dollar per dollar, the house with the ADU makes more sense to me than these big units.
That's amazing.
And less headache.
Less headache for sure.
So I'm just like, dude, I don't got to reinvent the wheel. You know, I already seen this guy successful.
Exactly.
Hey, keep grinding on my construction business to put that money into houses and ADUs. Like that's the game.
Awesome.
That's what we have like planned out. That's what we're doing, and that's what we're gonna keep doing.
Yeah,
nice,
absolutely. So, can I build an ADU on my property? What are the requirements in order to do so?
So you need a single family residence. You could do it in a duplex, right? Like smaller multifamily, 4 or under, right? Once you get above that, like you have big units, then you're not worried about an ADU. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is for like, hey, somebody that just wants to get going, somebody that wants to, you know, make a little passive income.
Nice.
You could build it on any single family residence. If it's like you have a house in a commercial zone, then that becomes a little bit more complicated because now you don't have a SFR. You have a commercial zone with the house on it, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But most people, if you have a house, you could build an ADU.
And is there like a minimum square footage requirement for the lot?
Not really, dude. The one that I told you we built in Downey for ourselves to rent out, the lot's 3,900 square feet.
Oh wow.
And we have 2 units on it.
Oh wow.
So,
Was it an existing garage structure or you built a brand new one?
it's existing, and we added square footage to avoid the new construction. Yeah.
Got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's talk about the duplex real quick, because this is something that I don't really see that often.
Yeah.
People building ADUs with a duplex property. Does it have to be a existing garage structure that you convert, or can you put a brand new ADU in the back?
No, by code, you could build a brand new ADU.
Really?
So we've done one where it's in the city of Long Beach. We did one. You have the 2 units, and then the garage, the 2 garages, like they're smaller garages. So the total square footage of both garages was around 500 square feet. We converted that into a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom.
Wow.
Damn.
So
And
nice.
Let's talk about quickly junior ADU. So it's something you also help construct? Is it
Mhm.
something that you see often or not really?
We've done about 3 of those. The thing that becomes a little bit more difficult with those is that it has to be owner occupied, right?
Oh,
Okay,
As long
that's
as you
right.
build the junior ADU.
Gotcha.
So
got it.
hey, if you're gonna plan to live there forever, or you got family there, you should be good, right?
Okay, got it.
But if you're doing it as a business move, like I have seen it, but I'm not gonna be the one telling you what to do or what not to do. But
Of
course.
you do have to sign an affidavit saying you're gonna live on the property.
Okay, is there a
Got it.
certain requirement to live there, like 2 years?
No, it's very vague. Yeah, there's
Okay.
no
Gotcha.
like timeline requirement.
Got it. Makes sense. And then, how big can you make an ADU?
So 1,200 square feet. That's the general rule. That's as big as you could go, right?
Big, okay.
But a lot of cities, like the cities I just mentioned, Downey, max square footage size is 1,000 square feet. So they have sub ordinances on the cities
Got
that
it.
they could, like, state law says 1,200, but some cities go 1,000
Below it,
max
yeah.
or 800, just
Gotcha.
depending. So it's always comes down to that general city. You have to go check what they want to do.
And quick question on the cities: is there like, because you can build an ADU in any city now, right? Like
Any
per
city, bro.
state.
Yeah.
Is there any that are like a lot harder to work with than others, or is it pretty easy?
I
now?
think it comes down to getting the right architect, bro. Because any architect, like people tell me, "Oh, Downey's so difficult to work with." I'm like, really? It's been real great for us,
Yeah.
you know. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like getting the right architect that's gonna push you through all that
Got it.
noise.
Mhm.
Because one thing everybody has to realize, if anybody watching this video has to realize, is the people at the front desk when you go to the city planning department. Most of these people, they want you out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So they want to get back on their TikTok, on their Instagram, or, with their friends,
Yeah.
So they want you there. So they're going to tell you whatever they want. So people take that
Yeah.
information as true.
Got
It's
it.
not a lot of times.
Mhm.
So once you get an architect that submits plans, that's when, like, hey, it really hits. Like, there's no, and they don't even check the plans. It goes past them. It goes to the back. So they're just kind of like front desk people, if you could see it that way, you know,
Got it.
most of the times.
Mhm.
And this is not to offend any city official, but I just, from so many times that I've seen it,
Experience, yeah.
that's what happens.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Gotcha. So, what's the biggest obstacle in building an additional dwelling unit
I think
or accessory dwelling unit? I don't know. I had to stop saying additional accessory dwelling unit.
I think it comes down to finances, bro.
Yeah.
Of
You
course.
know, people having like securing, like they want me to go out, drive, I don't know, miles to go see them.
Mhm.
And they're like, oh yeah, well, now I got to get financing. I'm like, dude, like that's the first thing
Then
you should be thinking
doing-
about, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it becomes difficult when I get 20 DMs a day on social media, like, hey, I want an ADU. So I kind of have to weed out
Mhm.
who's
Serious.
who's
right?
serious and who's
Yeah.
not. But I think finances, like knowing where you're gonna get your money from, being realistic with your budget. Like if you're thinking you're gonna build a garage conversion with 50 G's, you're in for like a rude awakening.
Yeah.
One, and two, if somebody agrees to build that for you, be ready.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
not gonna come out good.
Yeah. Oh, be ready for just a bunch of headaches.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because we can't even build that. We'll lose money to build it at that price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as a company, we'll lose money. So there's this illusion that it's just going to be a few $1,000, you know?
Yeah.
So I
Definitely.
tell my dad, there's a little running joke between me and my dad. I said, because he's a Spanish speaker, right? He's in his 60s. And I tell him, Pops, if anybody that speaks Spanish your age calls me, they're always going to say, oh, rápido y barato. No, eso se hace rápido. No, eso es algo así de... You guys understand?
Yeah, no, I understand what
Okay,
you're
cool. Eso ya está hecho. It's
Yeah.
almost done already.
No,
Like,
no.
I'm like, we have it legally done. We just need to do a few things. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what the city says. And then we go back to the city thing.
Yeah.
The city's going to say whatever they want to say to get you out of there.
Exactly.
You know? But you still have to submit architectural plans.
Got
so it's still work required.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got it. So speaking of that, how much does an ADU cost then? Like in a rough
So
estimate?
garage conversion, like where we're at about $100,000 to $120,000 in that
Okay.
range, right?
Range, got it.
Obviously, we're talking about a 2-car garage. If somebody comes at me with a 1,000 square foot garage, like a big ass garage, then it's like let's be real, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, they're like people hear that and they're like, oh, mine's gonna cost 100, and then it's like twice the size, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's not, you know? So, and people are like, why does it cost so much? You know, why
Yeah.
does it cost so much? But you think about it, the same utilities, gas, water, sewer line,
Mhm.
electrical, that you run to a regular house,
Yeah.
you got to run it to an ADU.
Got it.
So you still have to run the same utilities to that ADU, just a unit smaller.
Got it.
Gotcha.
So that increases the price on these
Yeah.
conversions.
So it's about 100 to 130,000 for a garage conversion.
I would say.
What about a new ADU? There's no existing structure in the back. Well, how much would that cost?
Per square foot, so let's say like a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 700 square feet, you're around like a little over 200,000.
Okay.
$20,000.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Still not bad though for a 2-bedroom in LA.
Oh my goodness. Let's talk about that real quick. So let's just say it costs you $200,000. So on the higher end to make a 1,000 square foot ADU in the back, you're going to be able to rent that out for at least $2,000, more than likely about $2,500. Like, where are you going to be able to purchase a property in Los Angeles County that is $200,000 that you're going to be able to rent out for $2,500 a month, and then every single year do your yearly rent increases, and you're going to be cash flowing in no time?
What I see a lot too, guys, is like these past 2 years, how much has equity gone up? Like insane, right?
Insane.
So a lot of our clients are pulling that equity out and using that to build the ADUs. You know, so that's a big play that's happening right now too.
Yeah,
got it.
Absolutely.
So that's actually our next segment is like, how are people paying for ADUs? Of course, one's a refinance. I'm assuming HELOCs, right?
Yep.
How many of these people are actually paying it just cash? Is it really rare?
I would say about 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10,
Okay,
yeah,
10%.
right. It's pretty rare.
Yeah.
So guys, so many people are leveraging their equity, leveraging their current home in order to, again, rather you're renting it out to a family member or using it for financial gain, but to build these ADUs, right? So 2 out of 10 people, so about 80% is financed, guys.
Yeah.
So these are great financial investments for sure.
Do you offer any financing options, or do you just recommend them? Okay.
We do. We have a bank we work with, but like our max financing is around 100,000, which is a garage conversion.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to do a garage conversion, obviously interest rates are a little higher, you know,
of course,
but because it's just debt, like personal debt, it's not collateralized against the property.
Yeah.
So if you have good credit, you have a job, you're probably gonna get the 100,000.
Okay,
But
nice.
interest rates are higher, so that
Of
people
course.
are like, "Oh my god, why is interest rate so high?" I'm like, "Because it's not backed up by anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
Makes
a credit
sense.
card."
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
even though the payment still makes sense compared to the rent you're gonna get.
Yeah,
Exactly.
gotcha. So how much do the permits cost for an ADU typically?
Depends on the size. Let's just say a garage conversion, you're looking at like around $3,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's nothing out of the world
Okay.
compared to the entire project.
Of course.
But the bigger you go, the more expensive
Expensive.
it is.
Makes
The one
sense.
we did in Downey was around 850 square feet. That costs us around $8,000 in permits.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, I think we know the answer to this, but are ADUs an overall great investment?
I think, yeah, man. Obviously, each individual case is always going to be different.
Yeah.
But like for me, I'm not seeing it as like putting in a family member. I'm seeing them as investments, right? So it works great. But then I have a lot of my clients are like, I mean, like a lot.
Really?
They need to put their parents in there.
Wow.
So tell me what that investment's worth.
Yeah.
Exactly. Priceless.
Priceless, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
Makes
like
sense.
having your parents next door, I don't know. To me, that's super cool.
Yeah,
Like,
I think so.
I don't know.
Awesome.
I don't know what connection people have with their parents, but to me, have like I work with my dad. I see him every day, bro. So that to me, it's
Exactly.
like legit.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. That's super good.
That's really cool. And then once you have this ADU, will your property taxes increase?
They assess the ADU. So they assess the ADU separately.
Mhm.
Here's a good and bad thing about ADUs right now. The value of an ADU is really not there because you guys know you're an agent.
Mhm.
Comps aren't there yet,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So
Correct.
the actual assessed value won't be as high,
Got
right?
it.
Because
Of
the
course.
comps aren't there.
Yeah.
So they're only assessing the ADU,
Yeah.
right? Over time, which I follow somebody that's already been doing ADUs for 10, 15 years,
Mhm.
right? In Seattle, the ADU is valued the price of the house. So let's say your house is 500 grand.
Mhm.
The ADU is worth 475
Mhm.
Got it.
on the build.
Yeah.
Got it.
So if you build them now,
Mm-hmm.
in 5 to 10 years, when there's a lot more comps,
Yep.
you're gonna be sitting pretty.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Makes
So if
sense.
you see this as a long-term play, it's always a good
Mhm.
thing,
Yep.
regardless of taxes, regardless of like, oh my God, it's not gonna value.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that property in Downey
Yep.
on my refinance did not value as high as I thought it would
Yeah.
with an ADU, with an
Yeah.
800 square foot ADU.
Of course. Makes
Gotcha.
sense.
But if I were to put it on the market, I think I'd get a good amount of money
Oh,
for that ADU.
Definitely.
yeah, I see that all the time on the market. When a house has an ADU, I mean, how you said, the value on paper technically isn't there, but
Yeah.
everyone sees it, right? So people are overbidding for those properties all the time because they know what they're gonna get for that rent.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's important to mention. And by the way, when we say comps, we're referring to other properties that also have ADU. So I'm
Also,
assuming
yeah.
Seattle has a whole bunch of other properties. It's a big ADU market, but Los Angeles is not quite there yet. So when homes sell here with an ADU, there isn't as many homes that recently sold in the area that also have ADUs.
Yep.
But
Really rare.
as we start to see more ADUs in Los Angeles, those homes are going to be selling for way more. And then you're going to see your equity skyrocket.
Yep.
So
even the appraisers, they don't know how to like appraise them yet, bro.
Exactly.
But as soon as they start seeing more and more and more, they're like, dude, people really want this. you know?
Exactly.
yeah.
So that's the
makes
way I
sense.
see it. It's like in 5-10 years,
Yeah.
your value of your property is gonna jump, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. That's really important to note that you said in Seattle, they're almost valuing at the same price of the house.
Yeah, bro.
So that's crazy. So you're thinking about like here in Los Angeles, home prices are 700,000-800,000 at least. You're talking about 1.5 million.
So they can literally buy the house at, if you like, you could literally buy the house at value, build the ADU, and you just create a bunch of equity, bro.
Yep. And I think soon, I think with Freddie Mac, which is one of the government entities with banking side, they're allowing you to use the rental income from ADUs. So eventually all the programs, I'm pretty sure, are going to, once ADUs are more common, are going to allow you to use that ADU rental income to qualify for more, right? So that's only going to bring more value to your property, guys.
So on Google, I have like the keyword ADU, right? So I look at articles every day. Like more and more cities across the US are adding them to their building codes.
Yeah.
So now like Atlanta, you could build ADUs, right? I saw in Seattle, you could build it. Well, obviously in Seattle and Florida, you could build ADUs now, right? They call them different things, but they're expanding, definitely expanding.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that should, homies, give you a pretty good idea of what ADUs are. Give us a crazy ADU story, Eric, that you have. Like,
I could give you a good one.
Let's hear it.
We love
Let's
these
hear
stories.
it.
We've been at this project almost 2 years. Everything you could think of that's gone wrong on that project.
Oh, no.
Wrong. So we've probably done, I would say within those 2 years, we've probably done around 25 other ADUs in between, still holding on to this project.
Yeah.
First day we get inspection. So it was a garage conversion. We're going to add an ADU on the second floor, right? And still keep the garage. First inspection, it's what they call the footing. So where you put the foundation, right, to build up.
Yeah.
First inspection there, the owner starts arguing with the inspector. The owner of the house starts arguing with the inspector. And I'm just like, shit, dude. Ever since then,
Oh my goodness.
Super tough.
yeah, we didn't draw up those architectural plans. It came from somebody else, right? The architectural plans were off by a foot. So we're talking about on a construction site, you're off by a foot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
You know, so you gotta, like, there's measurements. Everything needs to be precise. That's why there's architectural plans. If not, we could just go build it ourselves, right? So that's why you have to go through this. So what the architect wanted to what was in real life didn't match.
Got
Right?
it.
Yeah.
So it's just been like that every
Wow,
step of the way.
That's
The
terrible.
inspectors haven't, like, I don't know if they talked amongst each other,
Real.
but since that day on, it's been that project has been a pain in the butt, bro. So we've been there almost 2 years, and I think if you hire somebody, let that somebody do what they got to do.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
that's a big thing because they want to be involved in every step of the way. And I'm like, I get it, it's your house, but like,
you're gonna make things harder.
you're gonna make things harder. Exactly. And what I always tell homeowners, that said during inspections, like, I don't even like having my guys where I say, hey, go take a 20-minute break. Like, literally go take a 20-minute break. It's only me and the inspector.
Got it.
Because if the inspector wants to give me like a little hint or a little like, hey, bro, change this or do this, but I'll still pass it. They'll do it a lot better if it's just me and him there.
Yeah.
Right? Like we'll be homies, right?
Exactly.
And if somebody else is there, they're not gonna want to get burned by that somebody else.
Exactly.
Because they don't know who that person is.
Makes sense.
So then they're like,
And I would make the assumption, correct me if I'm wrong, that you build those relationships with time with these inspectors, right?
yeah, and especially we're in the same cities.
Exactly.
So it's like I have one inspector for like 5 different jobs.
Yeah.
Got it.
You get me? So he's like, oh, what's up, Eric? How's the family? You know, so
That's what's up.
he's still inspecting the way he's supposed to.
Yeah.
But then
Of
he's
course.
like, he helps if there's
Gotcha.
whatever, something's wrong, he'll help move the project along. Hey, get this done. Send me a picture. Boom, we'll move it forward, bro.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. So, Eric, what's your goals? Like, you have a plan where you want to take Esco Builders?
The business, I don't have a specific plan because like my main plan is the real estate.
Gotcha.
Right? That's the main plan. And
Acquiring real estate.
Acquiring real estate, yeah. So it's going to be 10 total units in Downey. That's my plan. Right?
Got it.
Because you guys think how much rent is.
Mm-hmm.
If I pay all those units off, how much is that a month in cash flow?
A lot.
Yeah.
Probably 6 figures.
Yeah.
A year. Over 6 figures a year.
6 figures.
Right? So the construction, we're pushing the construction hard to get to create the money, the income to get these units.
Gotcha.
You get me?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my main thing. My dad's on board with it. We're all on board. So it's kind of like,
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. We'd love to hear that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Remember, it's not just about, generating sales, earning an income, but it's about creating wealth, right? At the end of the day, that's what we're all here to do. So it's awesome that you already created that plan with your family, that you're going to, get some units or get some properties and, start to cash flow and hopefully just live the good life at a certain point.
I don't ever think I'll stop working, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's just in me to just work.
Yeah.
And I know some people are built differently, but like, that's just me.
Makes sense.
But that's the key, is to get those renters to not have to always be on the hamster wheel. You know, like when we opened up the gyms, we're making a lot of money. Like, I was on vacation like half of the year. But then something happens, it goes wrong, and then the hamster wheel runs out, right?
Exactly.
So, but the rentals will always be there.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's like so important for me to do
Makes
that.
sense.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Eric, it was a pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Thanks,
Thank you for
bro.
coming. Appreciate it.
How can we contact you? What's the best way?
I think Instagram, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instagram?
Eric Paul Escobar.
Eric Paul Escobar.
Oh yeah.
Angel, where can we find you at?
At Your Mortgage Angel on Instagram.
At Your Mortgage Angel on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
You know where to find us, at the Luevanos Group. With that said, homies, peace out. Another
Thank
great
you.
podcast.
Hey homies, it's Angel from the Homies Real Estate Podcast. This podcast contains our opinions and is for educational purposes only. It does not guarantee any projections and should not serve as the basis for any purchase or sale in real estate.